So today I'm going to be talking about Trump, the art of the libertarian deal. In the words of Angela McArdle, the chair of the National Libertarian Party, quote, "Never in the history of the Libertarian Party has a former president and front-runner candidate come to speak specifically to our concerns." Trump came offering us a deal. He came prepared with a libertarian wish list. And some people say, he just came to us looking for our votes, just saying what we want to say. And my response to that is, of course. That's literally what politicians do. Of course he wants our votes. He's a politician. But he knows that we swing elections. We will decide the future of this country. And of course, you can vote for our candidate. You can vote for Chase Oliver, and we can hope to get 1% of the vote. Or you can vote for Biden, and we can march our way into World War III. This time, all inclusive, all of our children are going, not just our sons. Yeah. So what are the terms of that deal that we were being offered? Right? 1, Trump offered us libertarians in a cabinet. He offered us libertarians in influential positions in the government. He also offered us a task force addressing political prisoner cases. Now, I'm sure that a lot of you will remember with me when Justin Amash switched his registration from Republican to Libertarian, how excited we all were. Finally, one of our guys was going to be sitting at that table. Right now, we're not even in the same room. We've got nobody. They're offering us to be in that room. That's a good deal. But wait, there's more. I think we'd all agree free speech is essential. That's why it's number 1 on our list of amendments. Trump's promise to sign the executive order banning federal agencies from censoring the lawful speech of citizens. I think that's a good deal. But wait, there's more. Trump promised to be crypto-friendly. He said he would specifically ban central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. He also said he would fight for favorable regulations. He would support self-custody. He would protect the right to own and transact with Bitcoin. And in true Trump fashion, he added, quote, "With your vote, I will keep Elizabeth Warren and her goons away from your Bitcoin," end quote. This is a good deal. But wait, there's still some more. Peace, but not war. I think we're all here in favor of peace. I know I certainly am. And he said he would settle the war between Russia and Ukraine with, quote, "Stop the march into World War III." It's kind of a big deal. But wait, there's more. Trump has pledged to make his tax cuts permanent and end taxing tips, which I know everybody in this room was already doing anyways, right? We don't count it as a tip, we count it as a gift, but for everybody else, he's gonna make it a thing. He also floated the idea of replacing the unconstitutional income tax with tariffs. And regardless of how we feel about tariffs, Americans would be able to keep their entire income and not have it robbed from them at the point of a gun. That's a hell of a good deal. But wait, I'm not done just yet. So as libertarians, we fantasize about ending some department of the government, like a Javier Milei. Afuera! He promised us to end the Department of Education. Can I get something for free the kids, guys? Come on, free the children from their own little prisons. Yeah, I think that's a great deal. But wait, there's a little more. He promised to free all peaceful political prisoners, not just the J6ers. Yeah. Absolutely. Not just the J6ers, but our very own political prisoner, Ross Ulbricht. Some people have asked, why Ross? He's just another guy. So many people are deserving. Why Ross? He's not just one person. Ross isn't just another person. He's all of us. He's our political prisoner. You might not remember Ross when he was a part of the Ron Paul Revolution. You also might not remember him from when he was one of the first members of Students for Liberty. But you definitely know him as the visionary and creator of the free market website, The Silk Road, where you could buy and sell almost anything based on the voluntary interaction, on the non-aggression principle of voluntary interaction, where two people can exchange anything they want as long as it doesn't hurt a third party. And he did all of that using an obscure currency called Bitcoin, which he saw as a way to usher in a monetary system that was private and decentralized. I bet many of you haven't heard the words of the judge who sentenced Ross to die in a cage for this website. She attacked his philosophy, a philosophy I believe we all share. So I want to read to you the words of Judge Catherine Forrest as she addressed Ross in the courtroom when she gave him that barbaric sentence of double life plus 40 years for building a website without the possibility of parole. He will die in that cage unless we free him. Quote, "It is notable that the reasons that you started Silk Road were philosophical, and I don't know that that's a philosophy left behind," end quote. I find this so telling. In other words, you will have your rights stripped for what you believe in. You will spend the rest of your years behind bars for what you believe, for what we all believe. She goes on, quote, "The Silk Road's birth and its presence asserted that its creator, you, were better than the laws of this country, and there are posts which discuss the laws as the oppressor, and that each transaction is a victory over that oppressor. This is deeply troubling, terribly misguided, and also very dangerous," end quote. What this judge was saying with those words is that I am dangerous, is that you are dangerous, we are dangerous. I am Ross. You are Ross. We are Ross. How many of you have said, laws are oppressive? I know I have. Shit, I ran about it every day on Twitter. Follow me at Bueno for Miami. I say something like that at least every day. And Trump pledged to the world, in that historic moment, standing on our stage with a backdrop of libertarians, to our audience. I'm going to read you his quote. Quote, "If you vote for me, on day one, I will commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht to a sentence of time served. He's already served 11 years. We are going to get him home. We're going to get him home." Trump offered us a deal, one that may never come again. And I propose that we accept the deal. Let's get a seat at the table. Let's move the needle in the right direction. Let's promote liberty, and let's free our Ross. There's a man that I think that not everybody has met. We all know his mother, This is her son. This is our friend. This is our liberty fighter. This is our hero. And I want you to hear it with his own words, months before he was thrown in a cage.
Pretty sure I want to start a family in the next 5 years.
Nice, okay.
Just, yeah, make more friends and close people I love. Yeah, I want to focus on being more connected to people.
Very good. And 20 years.
20 years. I want to have had a substantial positive impact on the future of humanity by that time.
I want to have a positive impact on humanity. If you ever bought, sold, transacted with Bitcoin, that's why. Thank you all so much for coming. If you have any questions, I'm happy to take them. Anyone?
Everyone else is shy, so I'll step up first. Hopefully,
The politician in the room.
Well,
Thank you.
It's good to see you, Martha. Thank you so much for your advocacy for Ross. What do you make right now, right? I feel like every Porcfest we kind of gather together here. We're always so blessed to have Lynn here with us. And we say we want to free Ross. And now there seems to be Trump and Kennedy and real people who could become president, at least promising, whether people believe those promises or not, saying they're going to do it. What brought us to this point? Like, how did we get here to where Ross was just a marginal figure that libertarians knew of, to now we have presidential candidates making it his freedom, a campaign election issue?
I think there's only one answer to that question. It's a fantastic question. And I think the answer to that question is sitting right there in the front row. I think that the reason that Trump brought up Ross and the reason that RFK brought up Ross and why he's on everybody's mind is because of the work of one person, but not just any person, a mother. It is a mother's love. It's a testament to a mother's love that today Ross is being discussed, because she tirelessly worked. She came to everything, spoke out about her son, told us all about him, did not let us forget him. It is because of Lynn Ulbricht that Ross is on Trump's table, on his speech, in his mind, and in all of our hearts. I think that is the answer.
Thank you, Martha, and thank you, Lynn.
I love you, Lynn.
Hi there. So I just have a quick question. Don't take this as like any sort of attack at all. It's just me trying to, I guess, get inside Trump's head.
Sure.
So I also watched, I just listened to the quote that you read, that Trump, his promise that he made to us. And I just rewatched the video myself to see if I could catch anything that I missed. But my concern is that Trump made this promise and then went on to ask for our vote at the convention, which we obviously did not give him. So why should I even anticipate that he is still holding out this promise versus it's already been broken, versus, what I'm saying is that
Yes.
we didn't hold up our end of this exchange in his mind.
Yeah, I understand that question. I know I get it a lot. And he didn't exchange his vote at the convention for free Ross. He exchanged his vote for president for free Ross. And so he wants us to support him in becoming the next president of the United States so that he can free Ross. And that's what I intend to do. And so we didn't break any promise. I don't think it's precedented I don't think that he would have accepted our nomination. He's going to be the nominee of the Republican Party. It wouldn't have made sense for us to nominate him and then, he knew, and it is my understanding that he made these promises for our votes. Connection for a vote. Do you have a follow-up to that, or? There's no guarantees in life. Yeah. He asked us for our vote. He wouldn't have accepted it. It just would have been the news article of, he's a Republican, he's the nominee for the Republican Party, almost guaranteed. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to say that I think you missed what to me is the most valuable thing that Trump brings, which is that he has exposed and continues to expose the depth of, I don't even know how to put it, how entrenched and how horrible the situation is. I mean, exposing the lies, not just, I always knew a lot of this stuff was true, but he's making it obvious to everybody that the people who are running things are doing it with, I don't even know how to put it, but
I agree.
One thing that I learned, I always used to look in the media, and I would see a story, and I would sort of incorporate it and think maybe it's true, maybe it's not. Since Trump, I always look at who the source is. Who is saying this? And you can, so even as skeptical as I've been a hardcore libertarian since 1990, and even I was amazed at how credulous, if that's the right word, I was at the media. And so, I don't know, it's just a comment, and hopefully, to me, this is the most important thing, is that he's supposed, the ridiculous lies that they tell us, taxation is important for the growth of the economy. All these ridiculous, absolutely absurd lies, but he made it obvious, and he terrifies them, and they hate him, and they want to kill him because they know it's him or them. Right. And that fight is what I think he brings to the table that I think is so valuable about him.
I agree.
The most valuable thing. So.
I feel like this is the emperor has no clothes moment.
Yeah.
And we've all are the little boy that has seen the emperor didn't have clothes for a long time. Me since the 90s, me since the early 2000s. We've all seen that the emperor has no clothes. But now we're shouting it, and Trump is helping us. The emperor wears no clothes. The deep state runs this thing. That's where we are.
Very effective. Amazing.
Thank you.
Martha, can you talk a little bit about how you came to be involved with Free Ross and how you know Ross?
Yeah. As a libertarian since a long time ago, I knew about the Silk Road when I read an article, the first one, I don't remember which magazine or where it came. And I was like, wait a minute, there's this place that people can buy and sell things, So I checked it out, downloaded the tour, did all the things, never bought anything. I wasn't into cannabis back then, I know, shocker. And so I never bought anything on the Silk Road, but I checked it out. So I knew about Ross since then. But I wasn't an activist for Ross until I met his mother. Until it became real, There's this person in this world who has her little boy taken away from her. And I have 3 little boys. And there's no ends of the earth that I wouldn't go to for him. I am Ross, but I'm also Lynn. Yeah. Step right up.
Thank you so much for sharing and recapping the whole thing, but so much for all those pieces about Ross, the different angles that you brought to it. I'm sure there's some people here that don't actually know the story, because in any group there's going to be somebody. And I share that same thing of I had heard Ross's name, and I met Lynn years ago, and it became such a different thing. And for anyone that doesn't see, there's a wood burn art piece up here that says Free Ross inlaid with some 24-karat gold. It's made by Miriam Gomez. We're doing a little silent auction for it. There's a little clipboard and everything. And 100% of the funds are going right to freeross.org. So we're just wrapping that up in a couple hours. But
It ends at 4:20 promptly, so before you celebrate 4:20, make sure to check out the auction. Thank you for the work that you guys do online and in real life, and I appreciate that. And actually, everybody here who's shared something of Ross, who's told somebody about Ross, who's donated, who signed the petition, thank you all, because this isn't, I keep crediting Lynn, but Lynn couldn't have done it without each and every one of you. And I've walked around this campsite and I've met each and every one of the people that come up to us about it, and it takes a village, and you guys are it. And this is how she's made it this far, and she's going to keep making it. We're going to reach that finish line, and all of us, we're all going to cross that finish line together.
So has there been any follow-up? I mean, I remember seeing a couple news articles, and it's either, oh, Ross, this poor guy who designed a website, or Ross, this criminal mastermind who was facilitating all this crap. But, like, has there been any, like, now that theoretically millions of more people know about Ross and the case, or even from the Trump campaign, like, has there been any follow-up stories, any follow-up news, any more, confirmations from Trump that he's actually going to do this?
So one of the big news that happened after Trump said this is that RFK finally came out and said that he too would pardon Ross on day one. And I think that's a huge, huge, huge deal, because, it's one thing for one candidate to say it, and I know our libertarian candidates have always said free Ross and free Assange and free Snowden, but it says something that every presidential candidate on the ballot, except for Biden, has said that they would free Ross. And I think that is the biggest show of support in this country, that Ross needs to be free. There's been a lot of articles, and, I think everybody famously knows that Trump got a lot of boos, but the moment he said free Ross, the room erupted. I was right there front and center, and you could feel the energy. And if Trump didn't feel that, nothing's going to get to him. Do I want that video? Do you guys want to watch the video of Trump saying it? There you go. Yeah, I guess so. So, anybody, while we wait for that video to load, enjoy this brief interaction.
Real quick thing, Derek Bros, also known as 33 is his music name, he just released a song this morning called Free the Warriors that's mostly about Ross and then talks about Roger and the others a little bit too.
I love that. Thank you. Is it on YouTube? Where can we find it? Will you send it to me so that I can share it? Thank you. Please.
I was in the room when Trump said that, but some of the people who weren't, before he said that, he said something, and I'm paraphrasing. I've been indicted 4 times for how many different things. I may not have been a libertarian before, but I am a libertarian now. And I'm a lawyer for 40 years. I've been in politics for 50. He's going to pardon him. Take it to the bank.
There's nothing like being attacked by the state to change your views, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think if you go down the line of people who have been attacked by the state, they're not very friendly to the state after that, so I agree. And I hope I think that's one of the best things that the Biden administration has done to Trump. And I often say that nobody's born a libertarian. Nobody's born with that freedom. You have to learn it. You have to experience it. You have to be hit either by income taxes. There's always something, right? Everybody in this room has something that woke you up to freedom. Let's hope this was Trump's.
I had a question for you. I had heard that in Trump's term in office, he had already attempted some type of pardon of Ross. Had you heard this before, or is this factual?
I don't know if it's factual. I'm not close to Trump, but
okay.
It's possible.
I had heard like an interview with Angela McArdle, Michael Malice talking about this, and they had said that the U.S. Attorney General sat on that order from Trump until his term expired and just didn't execute their duties of actually doing it previously, but
Right.
I figured you might be able to shed any light on this if you're aware of it, or if
Yeah.
it's just hearsay.
It's hearsay at this
Okay.
point. I don't know. You know, it's very possible that something happened there, but I wouldn't be able to say. And so that's a fantastic question. If I ever have the opportunity to talk to Trump, I'd love to ask him that. But, you know.
And if that were to happen again, would you be able to force a, U.S. Attorney General to actually carry out a pardon, or could they just
why
refuse it
wouldn't he?
again? As a
Why
concept?
wouldn't he? He's made
Yeah.
a public pledge, and nobody's gone after him. You don't see anything anywhere, people saying, oh, Trump shouldn't do it.
I'm not
So-
talking about Trump, I'm talking the U.S. Attorney General that he appoints. If
I
they
think a
just-
presidential pardon supersedes everything else.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's a
Thank you.
constitutional type of thing, so,
Okay.
yeah, I think we're good. I mean, hopefully. Again, nothing is certain in this world, right? So hopefully, and that's what we want. Do we have the video? Awesome.
Administration, so that I can sign their pardons or commutations on day one. And I will ensure that libertarians are helping to lead that task force. You'll be on that task force, many of you. As everyone knows, it will be my great honor to pardon the peaceful January 6th protesters. As I often call them, the hostages. They're hostages. There has never been a group of people treated so harshly or unfairly in our country's history. This abuse will be rectified, and it will be rectified very quickly. And if you vote for me on day one, I will commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht. He's already served 11 years. We're going to get him home. I'm proud that I have put forward a detailed plan to smash the censorship and industrial complex and restore free speech. On day one, I will sign an executive order banning federal agencies from colluding to censor the lawful speech of American citizens. And we will remove the rogue bureaucrats who conspire to take away your First Amendment freedoms. We will do that quickly. I will once again slash a record number of liberty-destroying regulations. I will stop Joe Biden's plan for the largest tax. He's going to give you the largest tax increase in the history of our country.
I just want to point out that I'm there in the corner having like a nervous breakdown, so. Oh, I was filming him and I had to like put it down, but yeah. I started texting Lynn, you're right, yeah. It's not as palpable in this video, but there was an electricity in that room. And if Trump didn't feel it, then he has a heart of steel and, Yeah. Any other questions? Thank you guys, appreciate it.